So the $3,000 had different names on it.
Yes.
Bills, lifestyle, food,
Emergency funds.
emergency funds.
Yes. Yeah. I love what I do and I love fashion.
Yeah.
So, yes.
So the name of the boutique is Chic Couture Online.
Mm-hmm.
Where did that name came from?
When I first launched the business, that was in 2011. Specs, we did not have our big break until 2014, 2015.
Long hours, sleepless nights, a lots of crying. Do you remember your first sale?
I earn my money.
Wow.
My money is not your money. Revenue is not profit.
Take me back. Now, you mentioned that Haiti. How old were you when you actually started working? Welcome back to another episode of the Social Link Podcast. Today's episode is based on fashion and the business of fashion. And we're also touching base on entrepreneurship. And today's guest is very, very special. She's here to drop a lot of gems, and it's going to be a lot of informative information throughout the entire interview. She's the owner of one of the hottest online boutiques that's out right now. I mean, she has been relevant for over a decade and counting. And so, without any delays, let me go ahead and bring her in.
Hi.
Please, introducing Joan for Chic Couture Online.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
How have you been?
Good.
Oh my God.
We go way back.
Way back.
Actually, you were my first photographer.
I know, right?
I know, yeah.
And now we're here.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, thank you for coming.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Welcome to the Social Link Podcast.
Thank you.
It's a great pleasure. We have quite a few questions.
I'm sure.
And most of these questions, I'm pretty sure that you get those questions through your DMs, or even when people run into you on the streets or out, running errands, they ask all types of questions. Before we dived into all the questionnaires, please, a brief introduction of yourself and what do you actually do?
So I'm the owner of Chic Couture Online. This is my baby. I started this as a hobby.
Okay.
Never in a million years. I thought this would be what it is. But here we are. It's my passion.
Nice.
That's what I love. Had it not been my passion, I would have given up a long time ago. As far as what I do, I work every day.
Wow.
My work hours have not changed since we met over a decade ago.
Wow.
I work every single day. You go to the warehouse. I'm there every day, Monday through Friday, even some Saturdays. Although I'm involved in every aspect of the business, the business has grown so much that, I had to enlist professionals.
Right.
Whether it's attorneys, a warehouse manager, there's so much to do. But again, I love what I do, and I love fashion.
Yeah.
So, yes.
So good.
Thank you.
Well, thanks for the introduction. And first and foremost, what were you doing before Chic Couture?
That's a very good question. I've always been in retail. I've always loved fashion, and I've always been in retail. So studying the boutique, it was not just like, one day, let me find something that I can do to make money. No.
Okay.
And, a question that I get asked a lot is, what's your secret? What's your secret? And it's so crazy that people think that you're going to give them this equation. And my answer is always, you need to find your passion. And
Okay.
people look at me like, okay, like that's your answer. Yes, you need to find your passion, because if it's what you love, you're going to pour into it. You want to learn all the aspect of the business. So being in retail, I've worked for Victoria's Secret, Ralph Lauren, Bloomingdale's. My last retail job was with Nike, and I learned a lot.
A lot.
And because I was in retail for so many years, it definitely helped the process as far as the behind the scenes, what people don't see as far as running a day-to-day business.
Nice.
But it helped tremendously. So again, I don't want to be rumbling, but it goes back to finding your passion.
Okay.
So I've always loved fashion, was always my passion.
Wonderful.
My dad has always been a businessman, and I witnessed how disciplined he was. So I was able to implement those aspects into my business.
Business.
But having a background in retail definitely gave me the knowledge that I needed
Wonderful.
to start an online
Okay.
business.
So even before you started this great, awesome company, you was no stranger to retail and hard work.
Oh no, absolutely not. I grew up in Haiti. My parents ran a tight ship. I have amazing parents. However, my dad had the number one auto parts in Haiti. I was required to go to work every Saturday, and he paid me. And he was like, "No, you need to earn your allowance." Yes. And my parents, although they were very, very generous, they're like, "Yes, but you need to work 1 day a week."
Take me back. Now you mentioned that Haiti. How old were you when you actually started working?
14.
At 14 years old.
Yes.
So you started working at your pop's.
Business.
He was selling auto parts.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's where entrepreneurship kind of start,
Yes.
and independency about earning your own
Correct. Correct.
allowance.
And my parents always had that rule where you need to do your number one responsibility is school, of course. However, you need to understand how lucky you are, like the way you're living. This is not what the average kid your age gets to experience in Haiti. So do not take that for granted.
Okay.
And you need to earn. You need extra money to go hang out with your friends, to go shop. You need to earn it, and you're gonna earn it by working.
So
and let me add one thing. And my parents always made sure our responsibility is for you to have a very good education, for us to feed you, to make sure you're in a safe environment. But like, you want extra money to go hang out with your friends,
You got to earn that.
you got to earn that.
Wonderful. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So, from my understanding, according to what you just said, it seems like so your parents was well off. So at the same time, they wanted to teach you responsibility about earning your own money. Yes, we got it. This is our money. This is for me and my wife.
Yes,
You as the kid, if you want to go hang out, you need to make your own money.
Yes, my dad was very adamant. I earn my money.
Wow.
My money is not your money. When another example, when I graduated high school in Haiti, my graduation gift was a car. And in Haiti, that's huge.
That's a big deal.
That's a big deal. And of course, like, I was this cool girl, but
With the
my
car.
dad was like, yeah, well, just so you know, I'm not going to give you gas money. For you
Wow.
to have gas money to put in your car,
You need to earn.
you
that.
need to earn it. And so by then,
I love
I
it.
went to college. I did 1 year of college in Haiti. So by then, I was required to work Saturdays and half a day on Sunday. And that kind of created friction with my mom because my mom is a very church lady. Like, she does
So
not.
on Sundays,
On Sunday, she was like, yeah, she will work, but she needs to go to church. So my dad was like, well, I go to the business at 10 o'clock, so you need to go to 6 o'clock mass for you to come back, eat breakfast, for us to go to work. So, yeah.
so basically, at 14 years old, you learn those types of disciplines
Yes.
at an early age.
Yes.
The church has its own time,
Yes.
school, work, and you need time. You created time to hang out with your friends because you
Absolutely.
are 14.
Absolutely.
So that's a lot.
It's a lot. And for many years as a teenager, even as a young adult, I used to resent my parents.
I mean, of course. Look, I mean, it's a lot.
It is, but it wasn't until I was fully on my own.
You understand?
Yes, when I was younger, I felt like they were doing me a disservice. But no, truly, it was not until I was on my own I realized, oh my God, like, and especially when I moved to the States and I realized a lot of people, they had this attitude, you do what you want whenever you want. But I knew at a very early age that no.
How to walk a
Yes.
straight line.
And my dad always instilled in my sister and I, whatever you're gonna do in life that's gonna bring you solid income, that you want to have longevity, it's gonna be hard work.
Most
It's not
certainly,
gonna come
definitely.
easily.
I'm sure.
So, and my dad worked really, really hard.
Long shift, long hours.
He would be gone on the weekends. And my dad, just like me, he started really small. When he first launched his business, people were making fun of him. And then years later, he had the number one auto parts in Haiti.
Wow.
But what I realized that my dad did not play when it comes to work. And I'm the same way. And Specs, you've known me for a very long time.
I mean, see, the thing is, it's strict, but at the same time, I mean, you have to be disciplined to
Yes.
to carry a multi-million-dollar, whatever it is, business. If you want the business to prosper and become big, and gain respect, you have to be very
have-
disciplined.
you-
You have to be very strict because
have
that's
to
your
put in the
baby. That's your
work.
bread and butter.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So fast forward, you came to the States, and so you started working in retails.
Yes. And when I first moved to the States, and of course, my parents being who they are, like, okay, we will pay for your apartment, we will pay for your school, you need to go to school full time, and you need to work. We would cover everything, but we need to see. So I had to send them my grades at the end of the semester. Like, you have to go two
So
rules.
even with the transition, now you're in a whole different state. You're here now.
Yes.
No slacking.
No.
Get back to work.
Get back to work, yes. And I've always had a full-time job and while going to school. Like, they did not play when it come to those
Wow.
two things, yes.
So from you went from working at different stores. You, as you mentioned earlier, from Victoria's Secrets, from Bloomingdale's.
Bloomingdale's, Nike.
You know, so you're no stranger to retail. And when did the light bulb went off to be like, okay, you know what? Let me start something. What inspired you to start, this company?
It was not really a light bulb. Another thing that I've learned from my dad at an early age was that if you want to have financial stability, you need to most likely, and again, this is not a rule that would apply to everyone, obviously.
Right.
We all have our callings. But he made me realize you want to have financial freedom, you need to have your own business.
Definitely.
And it's something that I always knew that I wanted to do, and especially watching my dad, how his business grew from nothing to having the number one auto parts business in Haiti. And even when I was in retail and, I would still get an allowance from my parents, I realized that the things that I wanted to do, and especially we live in Miami.
You need more money.
We live in Miami.
Yeah, you need more
Everybody has a luxury car. Everybody has like this
Right.
ridiculously expensive handbag. And listen, you're young and you live here. You're like,
you
oh my
wanna
God.
fit in.
Exactly. You
wanna
want
fit
to,
in.
exactly.
I get it.
So I realized that, oh my God, like for me to have this, and again, to me, it's not about lifestyle because Specs, you know me, I'm a very simple person.
Very reserved, yes.
Very reserved. But for me to have that financial freedom that I wanted, I realized, okay, I need to do something on my own that I could control, and especially, with the background that I have, and even in retail, being in retail, you had to be disciplined.
Of course.
And, watching how hard my dad worked. And Specs, you have to understand, this is not America, this is Haiti.
Mm-hmm.
So for you to be successful at anything,
you have to go the extra mile.
you have to go
work
really hard.
Extremely hard.
Extremely,
to stand
extremely,
out.
extremely hard. But I noticed that, oh, okay, he put in the work. That's why he's able to do the things that he's doing now. And I know, thanks to Chic, I've met a lot of successful people.
Mm-hmm.
And what do they all have in common? The
Hard
number
work.
one,
Hard work and dedication.
the number one
And
common,
discipline.
exactly.
So you say Chic. So the name of the boutique is Chic Couture Online.
Mm-hmm.
Where did that name came from?
My style, and again, you have to remember, it's the very beginning, I really wanted to put my touch into everything.
Right.
I've always been a very girly girl.
Okay.
Pink has always been my favorite color, hence the pink logo. And I really wanted everything to be chic. One of the things that I take pride is being Haitian and how I was raised.
Speak on that.
Yes, in my household, when I went to school, my friends that I grew up with, like they taught us, you can be elegant, you
Nice.
can be sexy and classy
At the same time.
at the same time.
Love it.
And I really wanted my brand to be, of course, fashion forward, but elegant,
Elegant at the same
very
time.
chic.
So it's safe to say that Chic Couture, your online store, it's all about chicness and elegance.
Yes.
Wonderful. I love
Absolutely.
it.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Yes. You can show a little skin, but you don't need to show
With
everything.
taste.
Yeah, with taste. Exactly.
Yeah.
With taste. Keep it
You
classy.
don't have to bust it wide open.
No, you don't have to bust it wide open.
No.
Absolutely
With
not.
taste.
With taste. Yes.
So you started this baby and you jumped right in.
Not really.
Not really?
Not really.
Take me back.
So when I first launched my business, and again, to me, I didn't even think this would be a third source of income, let
Wow.
alone what it is
You
now.
said third.
Third,
What's the first is
work.
work. Second is
Second, my
allowance
little
from
side gig.
Side gigs.
Side
Okay.
gig allowance.
Now you
and
bring
then
this in.
Yes,
So
like
that's third.
I never imagined it would be that. So when I first launched the business, that was in 2011. Specs, we did not have our big break until 2014, 2015.
That's fast forward 3 years later.
3-4 years later. There were times where I would cry myself to sleep.
I believe you.
I knew anything good that you're gonna do is gonna take time. It's not gonna happen overnight. I
Correct.
knew that. But there was a time where I was working full time. Every day I dedicated 4 to 6 hours to Chic.
And that's beginning stage.
Yes.
Okay.
And nothing would happen.
Wow.
Not even one sale. And I was working hard. I was putting in the work. But I believed in the product. I believed in what I had to offer. I believed in my passion. And I didn't know when, but I knew one day it was going to happen.
So, let me ask you. Long hours, sleepless nights, lots of crying. Do you remember your first sale?
Yes.
What was the emotion? How did you react? How was it?
I woke up. I woke up one day. So I did my first lunch. Nothing really happened. I first launched my store on eBay. Nothing was happening. I think I had one sale a few days later. And then I remember being really down, and I was talking to my sister. She said, "You have to keep going.
Wow.
You have to keep going." My little sister, she's my voice of reason. She's like, "You have to keep going." So I was like, okay, I'm gonna. And now, Specs, you have to remember, it's not like I had this huge budget to start this business with.
So which budget you had? Was it from work? Money that you saved?
From work, from money that I've saved. And to be honest with you, I'm even embarrassed to say how much that I studied with, but maybe it will be an inspiration for somebody. Start where you are with what you have.
What you got? Hypothetically speaking, how much did you start with?
I had $3,000 in my savings.
So you started
That's all
this
I had.
Great big company with $3,000.
But Specs, it wasn't like $3,000 allocated to starting the business.
So the $3,000 had different names on it.
Yes.
Bills, lifestyle, food,
Emergency funds.
emergency funds.
Yes.
Well, you took such enormous risk.
Yes. And to answer your question, so I did a second drop. I remember I went to bed. It was like 1 a.m, and I woke up the next day. I think I had 9 sales. I honestly thought that my website got hacked or something. And I remember going like step by step to see, okay, did they really pay? Like, is the money really coming?
Wow.
Because and I remember even like wanting to call eBay, and of course they had a fee for everything. And I had the smallest package.
That was on eBay.
That was on eBay, yes. I had the smallest package that did not even allow me to be able to call customer service. And I remember I said, okay, maybe I should wait a day or two before shipping those orders, because I'm a little scared. And yes, I could not believe it.
So you had about 8 to 9 sales.
Yes.
And you thought it was somebody hacked into your eBay account.
Yes.
So, after a few days that you realized that, okay, this is your money.
This is legit.
Take me there. Like, what happened? So you felt that, okay, this can possibly work? Or
Yes, I did. However,
what year is that now?
I think that must have been 2012. Because I did launch the store end of 2011, so it must have been 2012, early 2012. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was January 2012.
2012.
And I was like, oh, okay, maybe.
This might work.
Yes.
So at that moment, did you change strategy? Did you change your community?
No.
Did you change how you formulate the business? What happened?
No, I did not, because I realized, okay, so I woke up having those 9 orders, and I didn't have any more sales for 2 weeks.
Okay, so you short on inventory.
So it was a roller coaster at first. And even when I was getting sales here and there, it was not steady.
Okay.
It was not steady, and I was still very hesitant. But I had invested so much, not only money, so much of my time. I could not go backwards. So I was like, I have to keep pushing. And Specs, when you ask me about my first sale, it's not that, oh yes, I had those 9 orders one day and then sales kept rolling. No.
So it was a pause after
There was
that?
a pause, yes. Being on eBay helped get our name out there, but I realized quickly with eBay, and of course that's why they're so big, there's a fee for literally everything. So $100 transaction.
How much are you getting back?
Exactly. Even like the keywords in the description, if you
pay
go
for that?
over, yes, you have to pay. So I realized, oh my God, so I'm putting all this work and like half of the money is going to you guys.
Fees on top of fees.
Fees. And then I have half left. And from that half, you have to deduct cost, everything, and there's nothing left for me. Whatever's left is like very minimal. And
So now the math is not mathing. So you were were you expecting to make more, or was it one of those situations was like, let me give it a try?
not really expecting to make more, but I never imagined that. I don't know. I thought eBay, it's a site like that's gonna help
So
entrepreneurs.
you wasn't aware of all those fees was associated to
No,
the sale?
no.
Typically, give me an idea. Let's just say an item that costs $80. Sold, how much you get back?
On being on eBay at that time,
Yes.
$80, I would probably get back 40 something.
40 something.
Correct.
And that specific item, you must have purchased it at
Absolutely. That's why I said you
Close
have to
to
remember
40.
exactly.
to even try to
Exactly.
double and make the profit. And
And you have to stay competitive. And of course, you purchase a $30 item, you cannot sell it up $100.
so we're talking 2013, right?
We're talking 2012, yes,
2013.
yeah.
So what was the competition like at that time for boutiques, for online stores?
There was no competition at that time.
At that time.
Now, again, I was not fully aware of how the online sales world, everything that you had to do, because when I first launched, I went on eBay, and of course, they helped you a lot at a cost.
Of course. So is it safe to say that launching on eBay was one of the first lesson that you?
Yes.
Yeah. So it was.
Yes.
So you until now, do you think? Is it a lesson learned, or is it have you always felt like it was one of the biggest mistakes that you made?
No. It was definitely lesson learned. And one of the reasons I started with eBay was because I knew, of course, I didn't do my research when it come to all the fees, but I knew I would get the traffic. Because Specs, you can have the most beautiful website if you do not have any traffic.
It makes no sense.
It makes no sense. And I knew when I first started, I would not have the funds to put towards heavy traffic on the
Inventories and
website.
stuff like that.
Exactly. And versus eBay, and again, there's a fee for everything.
Yeah.
However, you get that crazy traffic.
And yeah, of course, because eBay is already a huge platform. It's
Exactly.
well known. So,
Exactly.
which I don't think that you made a bad decision. I think it was one of the situations I think it was like, okay, eBay sounds good at that time.
Yes. And eBay was big too at that time.
Yeah.
Everybody was on eBay.
Everybody was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even me, I sold a few things on eBay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I realized that to be able to have a profitable business, I need to be on my own.
Okay.
And I did the jump. It was very scary. So when I left eBay, went with Big Commerce, that's a shopping cart platform. And I realized, oh, okay, I have this website just sitting there and there's zero traffic.
Yikes.
Yikes. Yes. Now you have to remember that's 2012. We did not get on the radar until 2014, 2015. And I did not stop working all those years. I kept putting in the work.
So, from my understanding, eBay, heavy traffic. So you made a little bit of money. You're like, okay, wow, cool. Go ahead and launch your own website. Go independent, maybe so you can retain all this money so you stop paying no fees. Now that you launched your website,
No money is coming.
the money stops.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So
yes.
what did you do after that? Did you
So the very first thing that I decided to do is I need to find a way to bring traffic to the website. And at that time, I was taking my own pictures. We did not even have the budget to hire a photographer. So Specs, you have to understand, I would wake up at 5, get the model, do the makeup, and I'm no makeup artist, drive to the location, do the photo shoot, go home, eat something, take a nap, edit the pictures, upload everything on the website.
so
But then there's no
So
traffic.
you were the web designer,
Yes.
the photographer,
The
editor,
stylist.
the stylist, and the makeup artist.
Yes. Yes. And you do it
What kept you going?
because to me it was a
Because at that
challenge.
point, you got to understand, most people would have said, you know what, forget it. This is not for me. It makes absolutely no sense. I'm doing all this work, and I'm not getting the traffic that I'm expecting.
Yes.
So what kept you going?
I have this very, very good friend, and it's so crazy. We're very, very good friends, but we probably talk once every 6 months. But anything professional that we do, we always consult with each other.
Nice.
And I remember I was feeling very discouraged. I think it must have been 4th of July, 2014. 4th of July 2014. I prepped for the 4th of July sales. It was the first time that I was able to pay to get banners professionally done.
Okay.
And then I started my sales. Nothing.
Womp womp.
Womp. And I remember I cried myself to sleep. Yes.
Wow.
And I'm putting money.
So you basically that's somewhat, so you do a fresh rollout expecting to get a nice return, and nothing happens.
Nothing happened.
And you still didn't quit.
I believe at that time, for the whole 4th of July weekend sales, we probably had maybe 20 orders.
20 orders. That's not equate to the amount that you were expecting.
No, that's nothing.
That's nothing. 20 orders.
And Specs, like, not only the time that I was putting in, also the money, and my dad was a little bit skeptical about that. You know, Haitian
About the
parents,
business.
about the business. Of course, he wanted me to go to medical school, and I was like, absolutely not. I've always been a rebel. I was like, absolutely not. So he was always like, okay, are you studying this business? I'm going to wait and
Ingénieur,
see.
c'est docteur.
Exactement, exactement. Vous comprenez, sou pas docteur, pas ingénieur, pas... Anyway, so I was not getting help from my parents when it comes to the business. He was like, yeah, you want to do this? Like,
Because
you're on your own.
He told you clearly he wants you to work, but he never told you to start a business. You took it upon yourself to start a business. Were you still working at that time?
Yes, yes.
Wait a minute.
I worked until, and it's something that people
So you
do
kept
not
your 9 to
know.
5?
Absolutely, because Specs, the little profit, and I'm talking about 5-10%.
Wow.
I could not use that to pay my personal bills. First of all, it would have not even been enough, let alone what am I going to have to reinvest into the business so the business could grow. I had a full-time job until 2014 where I worked Monday through Friday, 9 to 5.
9 to 5.
9 to 5. Yes, because for the business to grow the first few years, and that's why we were able to grow rapidly. I understood very early on that whatever profit we make, we have to reinvest everything. Fast, exactly. And specs, one of the things that people don't really understand, when it comes to growth happens very fast. However, it does not stay like this.
So it's a scale. It goes up and
exactly.
down, up and down.
So while you're growing, you have to make sure you put as much as you can into the business so the business can grow as well. At the early stage of the business, whatever it is that you do, and I'm pretty sure you can co-sign on what I'm saying, you have to buy more equipment. You have to buy better lenses. You have to buy better this. The same.
Yeah.
You need to buy more inventory. And another thing that I realized, okay, when somebody comes to the website, they need to have options. And I did not have a lot of money put aside for me to have unlimited inventory. So I had to be very careful as to what I was purchasing for the store.
Wow.
And yes, you have
to. Basically, let me. Sorry to interrupt you. So you have to be very strategic about what type of item that you are buying. Make sure that it's not going to sit there.
Yes.
It's something that's going to sell fast. So
and how
much the profit margin has to make sense. And
the quantity you're buying,
that you're purchasing.
Yes, because you don't want to buy 100 units and then it sits
there.
Yes.
So now you ran out of money, and you're 9 to 5. You're not getting paid until 2 weeks. Wow.
Yes. Yep.
So there's a science behind all of this.
You can put it that way. I always say this is what people don't see.
That's what I was about to ask you. So that's the behind the scenes that most people don't realize. How much work does it take? It takes to even prosper, to even get to that level that you are right now. And most people would have quit on the first quarter.
And again, this is why I say you need to find your passion.
Right.
Because specs, had it been something in the medical field, I would have given up after the first try. But this is what I'm good at. This is what I'm good at. I'm amazing at customer service. I'm a businesswoman. That's my forte.
That's your forte.
And again, for you, it's different.
Correct.
Although you're selling a different product, but what it takes to be successful is the same path.
Yeah.
You have to work. You have to be financially responsible. Specs, when I made the most money, I was driving a 1998 Jeep Cherokee. So the point that I'm trying to make is...
So basically you have to... So you were very disciplined when money comes in.
If you believe in what you're doing, if you believe in the product that you're promoting, what you're putting out there, you have to be disciplined. You have to put in the work. Now, to go back, and I feel like I'm being repetitive, that's why it needs to be your passion. Had it been photography, I would have given up a long time ago.
That's not your passion.
I don't care about learning the different type of lenses, learning about Photoshop, all that. No. What's my passion? Clothing. Dressing women. Selling products. Like all the behind the scenes, That's what I love. Number one. Number two, that's what I was good at.
So which platform helped you the most?
Instagram.
Instagram.
Yes. Luckily for us, and I think you can co-sign that, at that time, everything was organic. There was no, you have to pay for ads, you have to do this, you have to do that. And I understood that very early on, and I was able to capitalize on that. Specs, I did not have time to promote anything. I did not have to do SMS blasts, email blasts at that time. Now, fast forward to now, it's imperative.
Yeah.
You have to do that. But at that time, like, Instagram was big. All those social media platforms, they were very organic. And I understood at that time, oh, okay, this is what people like. People love glam. Like, my pictures have to be professional. It cannot be, something on a random mannequin. Like, I have to make it appealing. It needs to be a professional brand.
It has to look
exactly
like one of those big brands out there.
So what I did, I started following all those big brands, Bloomingdale's, Victoria's Secret, all those big companies.
To see exactly how
exactly,
they do certain things.
Exactly. Yep.
So let me ask you, what year would you say was your best financial year? And what do you think that happened?
That's a very good question because
you launched in 2011.
Right.
24, you made a few sales, things dropped. You went from eBay to your personal website, and things are still kind of shaky.
Mm-hmm.
So take me to that year where you feel like, okay, yeah, I've made the most money where it feels comfortable.
That's a very good question. However, that question has definitely two aspects. Revenue is not profit.
Say it again.
Revenue is not profit, okay? And I see other stores, other entrepreneurs, they like to brag about specs.
They like to post
The
revenues.
But the year where we made the most money when it comes to revenue was not our most profitable year.
Okay, that's very, very interesting. Dive a little bit deeper to that.
Yes.
Take us back. So the year that you made the most money was not the most profitable year.
Correct.
Okay, explain that.
Okay, so let me start by the year where we were the most profitable. It was very early on. Because why? Our costs were slim
To none.
And of course, you have to take into account the cost of goods. I didn't have a 15,000 square foot warehouse.
Okay.
So when I first started, my first spot was 500 square feet. And we made crazy money. Again, the revenue was decent. I was very happy. And actually, maybe I should not use decent because I did not even expect to make that. However, Specs, I'm going to share this with you. I've known you for a long time, and maybe that will inspire someone to keep going.
Right.
We were able to save half of what we made in revenue. Yeah, because I did not have...
Give us a figure.
I didn't have...
Give us a number to work with.
I don't know if I feel comfortable giving a number.
Vague.
But okay, to be vague, let me tell you. I remember when I went to see my accountant. It was my first accountant because I was like, okay, so this business has made over
$1 million?
Over $1 million.
And at that time, were you still at the 500 square foot?
Yes. And
so the profit margin was very nice.
It was very nice. And let me tell you how nice it was. I remember I went to see my first accountant, and then I brought in my paperwork, and then he said to me, you have, how much you have in the bank right now? I said, I have such and such amount. And he looked at me and he said, how much do you owe? And I said, I don't owe anything. I don't owe
Wow.
anybody. And he said, and I guess he didn't believe me. I'm this average looking girl because nobody thinks this is the owner of Chic Couture Online. And he said, would you be able to come in next Monday and bring me the last 6 months, the last 6 months statements for this, for this,
'Cause
for
the
this, for
numbers
this.
look crazy at that
He
time.
was like, yes. And he looked at me and said, are you going to be able to bring everything to me by next Monday, 8 days from now? I said, absolutely. He said, are you sure? I said, yeah, I just have to go online and print. He didn't believe me.
Wow.
And next Monday, the following Monday, I went to him, brought all my financials, and he looked at me and said, how are you able to save all that money? And I said, because like I buy the bare necessities and I reinvested in specs. I reinvested every single penny into the business.
Wow.
And again, luckily
So
for
good.
me, I do like nice things. And again, we all do. You want to be comfortable, but I was never this flashy person. And what I want, someone who's sitting watching this, what I want them to understand is that it is possible. Go get your piece of the pie. However, what you see on social media is not real life. People do not see,
Everyone is fake rich online right now.
and not even that, even you're very comfortable, you're very, very successful. People don't see you at 3 in the morning editing photos.
That's true.
Friday, we had a shipment that came in very late after 30 minutes prior to everybody leaving. I had to stay.
You have to stay back.
And people would think, oh my God, you're the owner of the company. No.
Why are you putting all this work?
Yeah, no. And one of the things that I also want people to understand, it's not like, oh yeah, I'm gonna work for this period of time and then it stops and money gonna keep. It
And
doesn't
it's
work
on
that
cruise
way,
control.
honey. Yes,
It
no,
doesn't work that
no,
way.
It doesn't.
work
It
that
doesn't
way.
work that way. So to go back to your question, so as far as profit, our best year was 2015 as far as profit.
Yeah.
Because even then, very small warehouse, you knew our warehouse, very small warehouse. I was very conservative with my spending, how I managed the funds. But as far as revenue, I'm sure we all know the answer during the pandemic.
So basically, after you made that money, you still kept the momentum, and you kept the same discipline, and you just rinse and repeat.
Yes. But specs, the discipline aspect of it stops when the moment that you say, hey, you know what, I no longer want to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm done.
If not, it's gonna crumble.
No. If I'm not disciplined now,
Yeah.
this is not like money. No.
Exactly.
You have to continue working.
Absolutely, absolutely. I love it. Very, 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 very good information. We went through a very hard period of time, which was COVID. Mm-hmm. How did you manage? What happened? Did you did things slow down? How did you navigate through that? How was business for you during COVID?
When COVID first started, I remember it like it was yesterday. They announced the shutdown. Florida was gonna be, of course, like there was never any shutdown in South Florida.
Yeah.
But they did announce the shutdown. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to send everybody home. We're not gonna be able to operate out of the warehouse. But at that time, we had a huge warehouse. Like, what was I gonna do? And I remember, like, I panicked. And I was having a conversation with my sister, and she said, Joanne, do not panic. God did not get you this far for you to fail now. You just probably have to, you know, pivot. You have to adjust based on how things are going, and then that's it. Luckily for us, we never had to close. But one of the things that I realized early on and that really helped us during COVID, I said to myself, at that time I had just gotten in a brand new relationship, and I said, okay, I always take myself as the average consumer. I'm in this new relationship. We cannot go out like we used to. Everything is closed. But like, I want to be cute, whether he comes to my house or I go to his house, I still want to be cute. So I said, okay, people are still getting engaged. People are still getting married. People are still getting into brand new relationships.
Correct.
I cannot sell the club wear. I cannot sell those bended dresses. Nobody's going out. So what can I sell that's going to be comfort, that's going to be very comfortable for people to wear at home, but be very cute. Of course, I'm not going to have a full face beat when my boyfriend comes to see me,
right.
But I want to be cute. I want to have a cute set. And specs,
boom.
Like, I had those little sets.
And they were flying out like crazy.
In between 2020 and the end of 2021, I must have sold over 10,000 units.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yes, and I had this whole campaign, comfy from home.
But how do you balance the price, the profit margin?
That's another very good question. Your most expensive items are not the most profitable ones.
Wow.
I make more money selling a $20 set than a $200 dress.
Is it because of volume?
Not only because of
consumer based.
A little bit of both. A little bit of
Okay.
both. And you have to remember at that time, and again, when you have a business, you cannot be stagnant in any aspect of your business.
Correct.
Everything is ever changing, even social media. 2015 to 2017, all I had to do was post on Instagram and it will sell out. Now, no.
The marketing is different now.
Exactly. So it's the very same. Yes, I understood at that time nobody's gonna buy. Actually, I cannot say nobody's gonna buy because people would still do, their photo shoot for their wedding, their gender reveal, so on and so forth. However, the majority of us, we were home. So I'm not gonna buy 300 units on that bended dress. However, I'm gonna buy 300 units of that little set that cost me $20.
That's flying out the website.
That's flying, exactly.
That makes a
because
lot.
You have to understand at that time, it was all about, okay, everybody's home. It's all about comfort.
And cute.
It's all about, keeping it simple. Keeping it simple, and people were still shopping.
Okay, so COVID was very profitable for you.
Yes.
And I have a very, very, very important question.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure everyone would like to know. Before I even ask that question, most people, they think of it as once they start making money, they need a huge team.
No.
That's the first part of the question. Do you need a large team? And the second part of the question is it's on the financial.
You need the right team.
You need the right team. Do you need someone to watch your money for you, as far as financial advisors, accountant, who watches the money, and who are the key players you would say that help you maintain and manage your money? That way, you're not out there just being spendthrift and do unnecessary spending, where you end up in trouble when it's time to reinvest or purchase inventory.
Very, very good question. So, to answer the first part of your question, it's going to come to a point where you cannot do everything by yourself. No,
Correct.
you're going to need a team. But your staff can make or break your business. Yes, that's very, very important. And I understood, not early on, because I had to learn a few things the hard way, that having the right people around you, people who not only respect you, but believe in what you're doing, believe in the business, and also understand that they will grow with you, is going to be very, very important to the success and longevity of the business. Absolutely. It came to a point where, no, like, you cannot do everything by yourself.
Right.
And you have to remember, I was no longer getting 9 orders per day.
Correct.
I was getting 100 orders per day. And
What's the most order have you ever gotten in one day?
I remember it like it was yesterday. That was May 5th, 2023.
Okay.
I did this special experiment where I shut down the website. The only way to access the website was through a password, was with a password. And to even have that password, you had to sign up 2 weeks in advance. And
That's a great experience.
yes, I dropped they knew it was going to be something big. However, they didn't know what it was.
That's a great experiment.
Yes.
Tell me about it.
So I logged the website. So what I knew I was going to do, I was going to have a brand new, amazing drop, number one, and I was going to have 40% off everything.
They were ready.
And it was one of the very first time I had ever done 40% off. Specs. Almost every hour we had 100 orders. So you can do the math.
I'm not trying to do that. That sounds like a lot.
Literally, like I had to keep my phone.
So we talking
Yeah.
thousands.
Thousands. Yes.
That's
Yes.
awesome.
Yeah, that was.
That's great.
Yeah.
Have you ever had any product that sits on the shelf and not selling?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
How do you pivot? How do you manage that? Do you go back and repost or relaunch, or how do you manage that?
Okay, so I have this rule. If an item, okay, so there are 2 to 3 aspects of that question. Number one, we try to reshoot it right away, because if an item sits on the website, it has not sold out in about 2 weeks, it's not a hot item. And of course, not every item is gonna sell like hotcakes. There's this one product, and it's so crazy you're asking me this question, because there's this one product that I believed in it so much that I went crazy.
Was it emotionally attachment, or is not emotional attachment?
No, it was not. I just felt like, okay, it's the holiday season. It's a nice sequin dress, slightly see-through, just showing not showing too much, but very tasteful. But it was during the holiday season. Like, it's going to be a hot seller. I did the drop. We had other items that had completely sold out. We had not sold one. And now, mind you, I'm sitting on 300
But
units.
that's an item that you believed in.
But I'm not always right. and Spec, this is another aspect that people do
How
not
many
think
units
of.
did you purchase?
300.
So you have, so you're sitting on 300 units that's just sitting there.
And I ended up selling them at cost, but when you think about it, I ended up losing money because I still have to give the processing service,
Fees
their
on fees on
part.
fees.
Yes, employees,
Correct.
their fees. Being on the website is costing me money. Being in the warehouse is costing me money. But I'm like, okay, I'm paying money just to store this product.
I think you was emotionally attached to that specific item.
Actually, no. I don't get, okay, I get attached to certain items, but the ones that I design, because I do design a few items, no. But
That was my next question.
No, it was just an item that, like, my vendor sent me, and I'm like, oh, yes, this is going to be a hot seller. And listen, guys, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to make mistakes. It's inevitable. However, you can minimize the risk. You can be a little... Again, in my defense, at that time, like, I was mostly right, but I'm not always right. In specs, listen, we still have those items on the website right now. And they're on the website right now for $10.
Oh my God.
And my manager, and listen, the warehouse manager the other day told me, said, Joanne, I think, like, even if we give them away for free,
nobody wants them.
Nobody wants them.
Oh my God, Joe, this has been so much fun.
Yes.
This is very informative. We have to bring you back for part 2.
Okay.
We are running out of time. There's a lot more that we need to discuss.
Okay, absolutely.
Okay, so you're down for part 2.
Yes.
Okay. Before we get out of here, one last question.
Yes.
What is your guilty pleasure? Something that you just absolutely can't resist. You have to purchase that.
I'm a lot wiser now, but not in the beginning. When Chic started being very successful, I love cars.
So you just buy cars.
There was a time where I had 3 cars, and I have a full-time driver, and I'm always working. And
See, we have to bring you back for part 2 because we need that. Because we have to also ask you questions that the stuff that you learned, that you had to unlearn about the business.
Yes.
But the fact that, we're running a tight business schedule, we have to get out of here. We definitely got to bring you back for part 2.
Yes, of course.
We need to dive deeper
Yes.
into the financial part, into the mistake that you made, stuff that you had to learn, and different projects and goals, stuff that you're working towards. Like, it's so much. So, and
I know.
we could talk for hours.
I know.
So, thank you so much.
Let's do it again. My pleasure.
Definitely.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much for accepting my invitation.
Of course, specs,
People
there's
say no.
disrespect. No,
I understand.
No.
We do have a mutual respect for each other, and we have been friends for a very long time, and we always show each other love no matter what.
Yes.
And I do appreciate you.
Yes, and one of the things that I've always, that I believe is when you meet other professionals, it's not a competition.
Never.
I've learned a lot from you and vice versa.
Vice versa.
Correct,
yes.
You never stop learning. And even
Never.
right now at this stage of my business, people think, oh, Joanne, you've been doing this for so long,
There's still room for error.
No, there's still
room to grow.
Exactly. There's still room. And when you meet people and you deal with very close to the side of the business of what I'm doing, and I've learned a lot from you. So,
Right.
Of course, thank you for having me. And I hope that this has helped someone that...
Tremendously. It was very informative, and I have so many other questions
Lord.
for you. I have at least another 20 sets of questions, and we definitely got to do a part 2.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, and I
Thank you
really
for coming.
enjoyed this.
Well, there you have it. Each and every week, we bring real people with real successful stories. Thank you for watching Social Link Podcast. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.